bitch, I'm on the go. I got a money getting rack addiction. Need that shit for sure, my nigga. I was back up in the trenches waiting on the go.
What's up? Welcome back, guys. Credit to cash, cash to credit. Yo, listen, y'all. It's 2025. Gotta start working on your credit. You gotta start working on your credit now. You're always gonna need your credit. Always. You're just always gonna need your credit. It don't matter. One day you're gonna need a house. One day you're gonna need a car. One day you're gonna need some credit cards. You're gonna need some funding. You're gonna need your credit for something. Even if you're making a lot of money right now, you can't buy a house without good credit. You're gonna need your credit. So why not start working on it now, right? Definitely start working on your credit. Never neglect your credit, because that's the only way to success. That's the road to success. I tell you that every day. But what if I tell you maybe you got a lot of negatives on your account right now, and it's gonna take some time to get that credit where you want it to be, right? There's a lot of misinformation going out there about CPNs, right? So I'm gonna touch on this topic today. A lot of people have misinformation on these CPNs, right? Everybody's saying it's illegal, you can do this, you can't do that with it. Some people is just saying it's a scam. So I'm gonna clear that up today, right? We're gonna talk about CPNs, right? So a CPN, and this is on the FBI website, a CPN could be used to acquire credit to hide your identity. You know, mostly celebrities use it to hide their identity, but you could use it, anyone could use it to acquire credit, as long as you're paying in good standing and not, using it to acquire credit and not pay your bills, not pay the funding, not pay whatever line of credit that you take out, right? They don't want you to get to start running off on these companies that's giving out money, right? So make sure y'all don't do that, because that's what makes it illegal, right? So what a CPN basically is, a number is like a social security number that you create, that you start blank, right? It starts blank. It's like you never had credit before. You can build it up and start adding primaries and trade lines to it, and start getting credit cards, start getting approved for cars, start getting approved for you can even rent a house with it, right? So that's something that you can use right now if your credit was bad today, to start getting what you need. Start getting, if you need housing, go get a house. You could go get a car, things like that, right? So a lot of people don't know this, right? And they just saying, oh, it's a scam, it's all that, right? So what people don't know is a lot of things you cannot do with a CPN, right? So what you cannot do with a CPN is you can't get employment with it, right? You can't buy a home. You can rent a home, you can't buy a home, right? Because this has to do with W-2 forms, has to do with taxes, and you cannot get these you cannot get taxes on a CPN, right? So that's the only difference with that, and it's way different from your social. You know what I'm saying? So don't neglect your social, because you're gonna need these type of things. You're gonna need a job. You're gonna need a job. You're gonna need a house. You're gonna need your real social in the future. But in the meantime, if there is a lot of negatives, this is something you could get right now, and you can get approved right now, just to get you on your feet, just to get you what you got to go. You know what I'm saying? So what a lot of people is getting misinformation from is what is not what is illegal is a profile. So I know there's a video online going viral with somebody that they go into a car dealership, and he didn't know what he was doing. He went with a fake ID, and he used somebody's real name that was like an alter somewhere, and they arrested him in an Atlanta dealership. And he told the police, oh, somebody told me I could use my CPN and get this. And the police was like, yeah, but this is an author, this is not you. It comes up as a white man in another state, right? So that person, obviously somebody sent them in there, and they didn't even know what they was talking about, and they was just lost in the source, and he was just saying information that is not true, right? So he used a profile. What a profile is, you're using somebody else's real social, somebody else's real ID, somebody else's real information, real credit report, right? Somebody's information in another state. Like say you have my information, and you try to use my information to get approved, and I have good credit, you're gonna get approved. But what happens is I'm gonna get a fraud alert, right, on my email, on my number, because you can't change that. It's already on my credit report. And of course I'm gonna be like, yeah, that was not me. And now it's gonna alert whatever bank is trying to give you the loan or the approval, and you're gonna get arrested on the spot. So a profile is real dangerous. A profile is illegal. A profile is something that is not a CPN at all. A CPN and a profile is two different things. A profile is illegal because a profile is somebody else's real credit report, real credit, and their real information. So you're trying to take their real social, their real name, and just slap your picture on it and say, hey, I'm trying to get a proof of this. Of course, that's not going to work. So why CPN is really going to work is because you're starting from scratch. You're building it yourself. You're adding the accounts and building the CPN yourself, and it's not connected to nobody but you, to your email, to your phone number, to your accounts. So it's not alerting anybody that you're using their information and how people want to lie and say CPNs are using dead people's those social security numbers. No, you build a CPN from scratch. You build the numbers up. You build the numbers up and you get brand new numbers that never been used before, and that's how you acquire credit using a CPN. Like I said, this is not long term. This is something you do if you're in a situation and you need to acquire credit. You need to get a house, you need to get something, you just need to get out of that hole real quick. Use the CPN, but never neglect your credit. Always work on your credit. Take them negatives off, because you're always going to need your real credit when you're trying to move forward. So I just had to touch on this topic because a lot of people had a lot of misinformation about CPNs. Misinformation. Yes, a CPN is all the way legal. You could go on the FBI website and they will tell you more about CPNs. A profile, yeah, is a whole different thing. When you're buying, don't ever try to buy it. I tell people, don't try to buy it. You can definitely go to my Patreon and we'll help you get a CPN, acquire a CPN. But just be careful out here when you're trying to buy it, because a lot of people are just selling profiles. Don't ever believe somebody that could say, oh, I could give you a ready to go CPN. I could give you a CPN that's has a 750 credit score and is ready to go. That's most likely a profile, right? There's already somebody else's information, because I can't give you something that is made for you ready to go, right? I have to give it to you blank, and then we have to build it up, add the lines to it, add the trade lines to it, and build it up. I need your information, your number, your email, because that's what verifies everything else. So just be careful out here when you're buying these profiles. You know what I'm saying? When you're buying these profiles, be careful, because you can really get jammed up. Is something that you don't want to play with. You see these police is not playing with that. That's identity theft. You don't want to get charged with that. So definitely self-educate. Definitely just be careful out here when people is promise you things that sound too good. A lot of people, y'all jumping for these things that sound way too good to believe, right? Nothing is just ready to go, right? Everything takes effort. Everything takes work. Yes, we could give it to you. We could get you a CPN, but you have to build it. You have to build it up, and you have to keep in good standings and pay these credit cards, pay these loans, so you can get. Why wouldn't you want to do that? If you pay everything on time, guess what? They're going to give you bigger limits. They're going to give you bigger amounts. They're going to say, hey, we could refinance you and give you a better interest rate. So keep that in mind. You already know, credit to cash is bands but a bag. See you on the next one.